that's holding me back in my business and personal life.
Yeah, and what is that?
Expectations of people cancelling on me.
Mm-hmm.
Business-wise, it's holding me back because I don't, not that I'm trying to push to have clients, but I'm not connecting with them properly because I just think that once they book, they're going to cancel anyway. So there's no point in, you know, following up or checking up and seeing if they're okay, how they're going, see if they need any further help or anything. It's just, well, what's the point? Because if I book them in, they're going to cancel.
How else does this affect you, like in other areas of your life? How does this?
I tend to think that people go, yes, let's do this, but then I wait for them to cancel because I feel like they've said, yes, we'll do this, just to shut me up. So that I'm actually more a pain in the ass. They're just saying, okay, we'll do that with you. But then a few days later, that, oh, look, you know, something's popped up, or sorry, we double booked type thing. So,
okay, all right. So, does this affect any other areas of your life?
It's stopped me going forward with business ventures. I recently did a business venture, and right up till I got on the plane, I was expecting the other person to cancel on me. And yeah, the feelings that I had to go through, I really had to push myself. Almost had my first panic attack in like 12 months, but I managed to think, you know, if she was going to cancel, she would have done it before I got on the plane.
So it can actually lead you to have a panic attack.
I managed to cut it off though.
Yeah, right, okay. Do you find this affects just you or the people around you?
No, it affects people around me as well.
Why?
Well, it affects my son because I tend not to organise a few things because the expectation as well, you know, it'll get cancelled anyway.
So he and you could be missing out on life.
Yeah.
More opportunities. So you could be missing out on opportunities.
Absolutely.
So opportunities in your business, your son not living his life to the fullest.
Yeah. I tend to avoid dating. I tried online dating, and pretty much I would put it out there that, you know, they're going to cancel anyway. And there's only one that didn't cancel, all the others did. So the expectation was, yeah, right up there. It sort of had me feeling like, well, I'm not worth dating. Yeah, so I stopped it.
Right, so you're missing out on love.
True.
Opportunities. Because a lot of people would see, just, you know, expecting people to cancel as being not a big deal, but really it does affect all areas of your life, doesn't it? It does. A simple thing like that can really, it can seem simple to another person, but for you, the person, when you really do look at it, you see, wow, you know, this is affecting all areas of my life. You're missing out on opportunities. Your son's missing out on opportunities. You're missing out on the opportunity of love, potential business ventures. And I'm sure that you want for your son to be able to live his life fully.
Yes.
So how long have you had this problem?
I'd say around 20 odd years.
What have you previously done about this problem?
I've tried all sorts of things. I've done NLP. I've done Reiki. I've done kinesiology. Is that how you say it? Kinesiology. Yeah, I've had counselling. Yeah. So, and it keeps coming back.
So what I like to do, so that you can see that you've changed as well, so that we can also measure how effective Creatrix has been across the board. Because you see, when you are triggered, you have an automatic response. That automatic response occurs because of how you're filtering reality in that moment. And those filters, all these different filters, fog up your lens. And for me to make sure that I take them all off, we need to measure a few things so that we can identify what you're now existing for the last 20 years and forevermore. If we don't change this, we can measure and your focus, your beliefs, your self-perception. We need to measure your thoughts, how the feelings, and capture everything, because we want to do a complete breakthrough so that this doesn't come back. The Creatrix is about breaking the cycle, not just a one-time event. So we want to encapsulate all the filters that you have in that moment and change all of them. Every time you've been triggered in the past, you will have this same subset of filters. Give me a scenario, just give me a little bit of an idea of this scenario.
Booking a retreat.
Okay, so booking a retreat.
So that I'm one of the facilitators.
Okay, that's the trigger event occurring. What would you be focused on in that moment?
Basically, everybody that had said they'd be there, they wouldn't be there. They'd cancel.
What are you believing about about the situation in that moment?
That it's a good idea, but it's not for me because people won't support it.
What are you believing about yourself in that moment?
That I'm not the right person to be doing it. Because people don't believe that I'm good at what I'm doing.
Can you see how there's so much more to it?
Yes.
What are you thinking in that moment?
No point in going through with it.
What are you feeling in that moment?
In my body, I can feel from here to here is tight. My chest feels constricted. Yeah. Yeah, and I just feel like it'd be a great idea, but if somebody else did it. Okay, so physically, you feel tight and restricted from about here to here. Yeah, even the back of my head is tight. Back of your head is tight. Yeah, and my chest. So are you noticing, as we're saying this, that this issue of simply expecting people to cancel actually causes you to feel a physical response, like your body is actually feeling it too? Yeah, and I'm actually starting to feel really pissed off by it. With this feeling, this tight feeling, when you think about being in that scenario, right in that moment, I want you to rate the intensity of that feeling you have in your chest that you feel physically. How out of 10? Yeah, it's 10. It's a 10 out of 10. So 10 being the strongest you can feel that feeling. Out of 10, how big, what's the gravity of this problem in your life? Oh, it would have to be 10 because there's so much that I'm missing out on. Okay, so that's your rating? Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so we've got, it's a 10 out of 10 feeling. No wonder it leads to panic attacks. And it's a 10 out of 10 gravity of a problem in your life. Yeah. So what we have to do through Creatrix is change all of these automatic responses as a whole subset if we are to remove this long term. For this breakthrough to be sustainable, if we didn't change all of these filters, it would eventually generate back within probably about 12 months. What would be a monetary value of having this problem? Well, the monetary value of having that problem is the lack of money. Because I'm missing out on the opportunities of having clients, and yeah, there's just so many business opportunities I've turned down because I don't expect them to go ahead. Wow. What's it already cost you then? Actually, I know somebody that's gone down a similar path and they're earning 6 figures, yeah. And it's top 6 figures. So I'm missing out on that. Yeah. Wow. Okay. It's crazy. That makes me want to cry. I hadn't thought of that before.
Sometimes we don't value a block for what it really is. We don't realise because we're just so used to it. It's all we know. So we don't realise the value in releasing something and what that can actually cause. Just one block. When we do a Creatrix breakthrough, you know, we'll cover 20 or dig them all out. But this one here, you can see just from one block the real true value of getting rid of a block.
It's crazy. Because I literally had not thought of it the way you've been asking the questions, and it's like mind blowing.
The reason I get you to close your eyes, Natalie, is so that you can focus, okay? Because it's not hypnosis, every now and then, if I see that your mind is wandering or something like that, I'm actually going to be popping words to make sure that you're fully aware of what we're doing and you are fully focused. Because there's all these scenarios within this a bunch of metaphors that make up the storyline that helps you, that helps me facilitate you tapping in to alter all of those filters for yourself. Okay, so is it okay with you if I move at a fairly swift pace, because that's what I find works better and can help you stay focused? Is that all right? Because that's how it works best. Yeah, it should only take about 20 minutes. Okay, all right, I want you to close your eyes. Now, I want you to
she's a great performer, she's a great singer, and that, yeah, she's capable of delivering a really good performance.
Wow, okay, good.
So she's just pushing through and going ahead. The people that are there want to see her, and she's going to deliver for them. She cares about having pride in herself and in her performance. And she's really caring that the people that are there are enjoying what they've paid for. They've had the opportunity to purchase tickets. So yeah.
What appears to be the client working on herself, she's not actually in the story, and she doesn't know anybody that's in the story, and it's certainly not of her lifetime. These are scenarios playing out in problems that she's solving, and she's in a timeless state, and she's also in a filterless state. There's a lot of disassociation, which really helps the process move very quickly. Listen to some of her learnings or realizations or epiphanies or whatever you want to call them. Have a listen. Some actually sound not so revolutionary at all. But if she'd heard it and been taught it by somebody outside of herself, she would not have had it last. It's being realized from within her. So she's actually teaching herself, which is one of the rules of transformology.
It's really pointless getting pissed off at yourself at people cancelling, because you're not in control of what people do, and you have the choice whether you carry on or whether you stay stuck and being pissed off.
She would have heard this as advice before from people and in books and from counsellors, and she would have known all of this, but she didn't know it at her core, and that's where all of this is being installed now on automation unconsciously in the unconscious mind. Creatrix is constructed from the best of many different things to be very simple in its delivery, so anybody can actually learn to be a facilitator, but it's also extremely simple for the client to experience. Being painless makes it very safe as well.
You need to let go of expectations, because expectations actually cause more grief than they do anything else. So when you don't expect people to do certain things, you're not going to get so pissed off. And you should take pride in the fact that you've got good value in what you're taking to auction, that people actually want it. So people are going to turn up. So you don't need to worry about people cancelling, because you've got those that have the knowledge that you've got good value goods.
Creatrix is intricate in that it's a sum total of varied metaphors all constructed to cause a flowing story. And that's why it appears so simple.
You strengthen the bloodline, but guess what? You're the one who gets to enjoy the fruits of that. He says, now go out and live life. Make up for lost time for all the people.
Watch as Natalie opens her eyes and watch closely how her facial features have changed, her body posture, and make raw observations for yourself of the transformation as we go through the before and measure it now to see and mark the difference.
That was good.
I will use the same scenario that you had before to check what are your automatic responses now. So the scenario you were using before that you came up with was booking a retreat as a facilitator.
Mm-hmm.
So I want you to remember that specific event occurring now, and what is it you are focused on? What is your focus in that moment? That very same scenario, but now how would you see it? What's your focus? I want you to imagine that event happening now, and what are you focused on in that moment?
Getting it finalised and getting everything together. Really excited.
Yeah?
Yeah, really excited.
Wow, okay. What are you believing about the situation?
That it's going to be really good. It's bizarre, but no, it's going to be really good, and a lot of people are going to benefit from it, especially the women. Yeah, so many women are going to benefit.
Okay. What are you believing about yourself in that moment?
That I know my stuff, and that I'm going to be able to deliver good content.
You know your stuff.
Yeah. I'm surprised. Yeah, no, it's good.
What are you thinking in that moment? What's your thoughts in that moment?
That I need to get it. What's the right words? I know what I want to do, so I'm going to get it formatted. Yeah, I've got to start working on a format.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. What are you feeling physically when you're in that moment? What's the physical feeling?
Excited.
Excited?
I'm excited.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you don't have, how's the constricted, tight chest feeling in the back of your head? That was a 10 out of 10. Can you feel that? Can you think whatever you have to think, believe whatever you have to believe, focus on whatever you have to believe to bring that feeling back?
No, I can see it going ahead, and I'm excited. There's no.
Well, before you rated the 10 out of 10 physical feeling.
Yeah, I did.
So what are you feeling? What's the feeling you're having? If you're not now, okay, so you're feeling excited is the physical feeling.
Yeah.
But what are you feeling emotionally and mentally?
Confident. Feeling confident that I could put a retreat together.
Okay. Do you remember what you said to all of those things in that scenario before? Remember what you were focused on before?
No, I don't.
What do you think they remember? All right, now I'm going to tell you what you said before. In that same scenario, just booking a retreat as a facilitator, when I asked you before what you'd be focused on, you said, well, it wouldn't go ahead before, so you would cancel. You said you were believing about the situation. Yeah, it's a good idea, but it's not for me. because people won't support it.
Okay.
You also said that you believed about yourself that you're not the right person because people don't believe you're good at what you do.
Well, silly then. I am good at what I do.
You also said you were thinking, well, there's no point in going through with it. That was your thoughts.
No, there is a point in going through with it.
What's the point?
Help women. That's crazy.
You also said you were feeling at the back of your head from your chest to the top of your head, a 10 out of 10 feeling of feeling your chest was tight and you were restricted. That's what you were feeling in your body, and you rated it a 10 out of 10. What would you rate that now?
I can't even feel it. There's no tension in the back of my head, and my chest is fine.
Okay. And when I asked you what you were feeling emotionally and mentally, you said pissed off at yourself.
I'm not pissed off.
You're not pissed off?
No.
And I asked you in 5 years, you said, well, I won't have a client base. I'll have no love in my life. I'll miss out on opportunities. You said, well, there would be the lack of money and you would have turned down business.
Well, that's not happening now, is it?
I don't know, is it?
No.
Now that you've had this session, how do you see life in 5 years' time because of this session?
I'm rocking it. It's just all positive. Yeah, I'm going to start making bookings.
You're not just telling me this?
No, I really feel that, that was holding me back. There's no reason why I can't move forward.
Okay, so what we've done is we've changed all of your filters to take it off, and now you just see it as it is. So the unrealistic component of expectations is gone.
A whole lot of that was unrealistic. Yeah, it was.
So are you just saying that? Like, are you just saying that you can't have these feelings or these beliefs or this perception?
No.
Okay. Good.